The Jet Centre has officially changed hands, with Kelman Limited completing its acquisition on June 1st. The new owners have partnered with Newcastle-based NALjets to operate the base and have taken delivery of a brand new 8-seat jet direct from the manufacturer in Florida. We spoke to Captain Craig McLeod to find out more.
So Craig, you are now part of the Jet Centre. The Jet Centre has undergone a bit of a rebrand. Could you tell us about that, please?
Yeah, so the Jet Centre has been at the Isle of Man for quite some time. We've been flying in and out of the Isle of Man for a long time, a lot of years. And so we know the Jet Centre fairly well, and it seemed to be the right move for us to move to the Isle of Man full-time, get a second base for NALjets and operate from the Jet Centre, hoping to add to it some further products and client experience, really.
Could you tell us about the acquisition and when this came about?
Yeah, so we've watched it over a number of months, maybe a year or two. We've been on the Isle of Man, elsewhere on the airport, renting hangars and looking for space and looking for an opportunity. And over the last sort of 6 months, I would say that this was looking likely that it was going to become on the market and available to be leased or acquired and bought as a site. And luckily enough for us, one of our key clients and myself as an operator, we got together and put a proposal together to acquire the site and buy the whole area, and then that was with Kel Properties. Kel Properties have acquired the whole site, including the ramp parking and around the area, and leased it to NALjets so we can come in and operate at the Jet Centre on the Isle of Man.
Now, you're no stranger to aviation with your past with NALjets, so could you just tell us a bit about your past with planes?
Yeah, so I started out at Newcastle Aero Club when I was a young lad, really, at the Aero Club, and flown a lot of different aeroplanes and helicopters. So I'm a commercial fixed-wing, commercial helicopter pilot. Instruct, I examine, I do type rating training, we do test flights, post-engineering flights. So I've been involved in a lot of different types of flying missions and duties. I've flown pretty much everywhere in the world. I think the only place I haven't actually flown aircraft to is Australia. I got very close one time near Malaysia, so I was about 200 miles from Darwin, but that is the only place I haven't really flown around in. We used to manage aircraft in the oil and gas industry, operate locally. We've done air ambulance, we've done a lot of VIP private jets and business flights as well. So yeah, I've been around aviation a long time, and I enjoy the small aeroplanes as much as I enjoy flying the business jets.
Now, talking of business jets, there's one that is behind you, which I believe you flew back from Florida, so tell us about this. Yeah,
so just recently our key client acquired this aircraft. It's a beautiful Phenom 300E aircraft. It's a pretty state-of-the-art aircraft in the light jet to mid-sized jet area of the market, so it was a bit of an upgrade from us recently, because we've been operating primarily citation jets. So this was ordered 2 years ago. We've been spec'd the aeroplane, waiting for the build to complete, and finally it completed, and I took delivery of the aircraft for our client in early June, well, just in the end of May this year, and then brought it back to the Isle of Man, just actually prior to the TT starting.
And what are the plans with this? So
this aircraft now has been, it came out of the factory in Melbourne, Orlando, so it's not Melbourne, Australia, so it is in Florida, where these Phenom 300s are manufactured. It's an Embraer aircraft, so Embraer is a Brazilian company. This aircraft was manufactured in Orlando. We went to the factory there, collected the aircraft, brought it, exported it from the USA into Europe, into the UK, and now where it lives in the Isle of Man. There's a fairly in-depth import-export process and structure type of thing that has to go on. As soon as that occurred, then we did the Civil Aviation Authority proving flight with the UK CAA, which allows it to be added to our air operator's certificate, which allows the aircraft to be used for charter. So we completed that fairly recently, and now it's on our certificate and it's available for charter from the Isle of Man and from anywhere else where somebody books the aircraft from.
Now, for people that may use the Jet Centre, what changes can they expect under this new ownership?
I think, primarily the Jet Centre has done its function over a period of time fairly well. We hope to enhance the customer experience and client experience. I think one key difference is there's 3 sections to operating we call them an FBO, it's a flight briefing office. So we look at the ramp and the airside, handling aircraft in and out of hangars, parking them, chocking them, visiting aircraft and controlling the flow of traffic from an aircraft airside point of view onto the ramp. So that's one section. We want to develop procedures there with towing and capacity and safety, efficiency, etc. It's quite stringently controlled and regulated. The next section is the operations booking system, the ease of being able to book and plan to visit the Isle of Man or leave from the Isle of Man. And then the bit that I always think was slightly missing was the client experience, the customer front of house facing, where when passengers turn up, quite often if staff are a little scarce, then they're outside on the ramp or they're busy elsewhere in operations trying to organise security or organise baggage processing, passenger processing or vehicles. So there was really a bit of a gap in the front of house where when customers come in, somebody's there to meet them, seat them, organise the baggage ready to be loaded on the aircraft, get the passengers ready, get their IDs ready, all of this sort of thing. You can have a coffee, sit in the lounge, use the facilities. Sometimes they might have a bit of catering or something like that. So yeah, we'll have the front of house as a third section, which was there, but I don't think was particularly smooth in some days, you know. So hopefully we'll just make the whole service smoother, very safe, very efficient and workable really for the Isle of Man.